Hey guys, it's Kimberly. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone is well. This is actually the first time I want to say thank you to you guys because I wouldn't honestly be wearing real clothes or have even put on makeup. I think it's been probably a good 3 weeks since I have done either. I've been living in my workout clothes and no makeup, which has been a nice break, right, for all of us to just feel comfortable, to give our skin a break. But more importantly, I'm hoping everyone's healthy. I A lot of you guys know I've had congestion for several months, and I also had a little scare last week, but I'm feeling much better. I have been doing horseradish root in addition to all my other immune stuff. And horseradish root is an amazing antibiotic. And so, whatever I had, upper respiratory or whatever, I didn't end up needing antibiotics, and I feel a lot better. I did have a COVID test, but I don't have the results yet. It takes like a full week, so I'll probably have them today or tomorrow. But I'm guessing it's negative because I feel so good. So I'm just hoping that all of you are feeling good and your families and everything. I'm thinking of you guys. Um, so there's a couple of things. I just want to give you some tools to help you, and then I'll talk a little bit about some of the channel messages I've been receiving. This won't be a very long video, but um, I just wanted to come on and give you guys some tools, resources. Okay, so firstly is I've been getting a lot of lucid dream waking messages. And so some of that I'm going to talk about in the second half of this video, which is like the channel messages that have been coming through for our twin flames specifically. Um, and but other things too, like my own guidance has been coming through quite a bit that way recently. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's I'm sleeping more or sleeping less or having I haven't really had lucid dreams in a while. But the lucid dreams are, they always are very poignant for me. So they show me exactly what to do. It's very, it's either premonitions or they're showing me, my guides are coming through to show me, what to do next or whatnot. So when I woke up earlier this week, or, I think it was Sunday morning, they were showing me like, you need to do your intensive program in April. And I kind of, obviously thought twice about doing that this year because, it's something that I hold every year. I often hold it in April and October. Obviously, I didn't hold it this last fall just because of where I was at, but I had intended to hold one this April. So I put it up on my website. It's there. It's a tool, it's a resource for you if you are in the position to do something like this right now. I think for not for all of you, but for a select few of you, it could be a really good thing to put your focus on right now. So what if you guys haven't known what I do or what I've done in years past? Basically, what I've done is I've taken my whole methodology and I condense it into 4 weeks. You get access to my online courses. I email you daily tasks. I'm there holding your hand each day. You can take it at your own pace, but it is paced out. Like you get this work on this day, and then you try to keep up with it. There's certain days that you have to catch up. And then we also have weekly like one-on-one sessions. We also have weekly small group meetings to discuss the work. And it's all for your ascension and self-mastery. So it's the root stuff, it's the alignment, it's the mission, manifestation. But the 3 weeks of it, the first 3 weeks are all about clearing and healing the root. We go really, really deep in, and then coming into alignment. And this is really good for anyone who's like kind of partially done their work, or maybe you've had a coaching session or two with me, but you haven't delved all the way in. This would be like a really good, when I say it's an intensive program, it's an intensive program. Like it's intense. You cover a lot of ground in a very short period of time, and it's very much geared towards self-mastery, self-discovery, ascension. It gives you a ton of tools. You get access to an online forum for our private little small group, daily inspiration, daily tasks, like I said. And basically, I'm just there holding your hand for 4 weeks. And people who have graduated from this program in the past, I would say it's about a 60-40. I'd say, out of each small group, 60% of the people take it really, really, really seriously. And they emerge like totally different at the end of 4 weeks than when they came in, like miles of progress. And it's really beautiful to witness. And then there's always like a piece of the group that, you know, maybe doesn't have the time to dedicate or whatnot, or didn't realize how intense it was going to be. So they might not get as much from it, but they might be able to just revisit it later. And that's fine too, because you'll have access to all of this ongoing. But I've seen a lot of progress made. There's a lot of testimonials on my website about this. And so if you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, it's not for everyone right now. I think there's a lot of distractions in the collective, and rightfully so. It's very intense what's happening right now. A lot of people are affected. You're going to be affected in some way. You're going to know someone who, you know, is sick. You might even know someone who, you know, you might lose lives in nearby to you, and it's terrible, and it's awfully distracting to have all of this immense, you know, pain and tragedy and everything around us. But the only thing that we can truly control right now is our vibration and the work that we do in ourselves. That's the only thing we have control over. So if you're one of those people that do have time and you have a bit of security where you can invest a little bit in yourself, I mean, my program's not an expensive program, and I'm pacing it out. So you just give like a deposit now and you can give the rest later in April. I'm not even worried about that. I'd rather see people who are willing to commit to it, that I can provide tools to, you know, step forth and, you know, let's do it. It gives me an outlet too, to be able to connect with, you know, a small group of you daily, which is, well, I need that also, right? I need that sense of purpose to continue. And that's part of what grounds me into my work and my mission. So it's there for you. All the information's on the website. Secondly, I posted a video yesterday. Not a video. What am I talking about? I posted a new podcast yesterday, and I shared a bit more about my cancer journey, and I was relating it to the uncertainty of right now. So sort of what I went through with uncertainty and with a death sentence, and how I dealt with that, and how I can relate it to you now and help you guys maybe navigate these waters to release some of the fear, also to understand what viruses are, to understand that viruses are not the enemy. They are always the teacher. It's always an opportunity. The threat that they impose is how we get the lesson. It's how we evolve. It's how we change. If it wasn't this serious, we wouldn't change. So I explain all of that. It's an hour-long podcast. It's up on Apple, Spotify, and or iHeartRadio, or you can just click to it right through my website. Links are at the bottom of my website. I'm going to be holding a couple more interviews this week and posting those podcasts. So stay tuned. That's some good listening info if you guys are interested. So let's get to some of like the stuff I've been channeling. So, I mean, there's part of me that doesn't even want to, you know, take up space on an online platform right now talking about anything other than what's happening. But I also feel like we do need to avert our attention to other aspects of energetic shifts, what it means for us, and so on and so forth. So one term that's been coming to me quite clearly has been twin flames, and this notion of, anyone on the twin flame path, or identifying with the twin flame path, not just like twin flames as couples or individuals, but just you as related to this path, twin flames and the 0 point. That's what came to me in a lucid dream. And I was like, the 0 point. And they were showing me all this stuff. They were showing me all these like diagrams. And there was a lot of what we're going through energetically in this big collective shift is a leveling of the playing field, right? So when you level the playing field, nobody's better than the other person. It kind of made us like all even. We're all going through this. And if you have more resources than the next person, like your duty is to give and help. And if you need to receive, then you receive. And it's just a lot of separation is being dissolved right now. And I'm sure you can see that and feel that in humanity, right? And we haven't even got to that apex. We haven't even got to that pinnacle yet. So what I see for twin flames is like they are showing me that sort of like a, it's not like a ground zero, but it's like a bottoming out or like a 0 point. And they're saying that that's like really encompassed within you via surrender. They're saying that a lot of what's happening now is also to help you, light workers, you, empaths, you, twin flames, you to understand how vital it is to um, release all of the attachments. I think the biggest thing that twin flames are going through right now is learning how to release not only the attachment to your daily routine and those types of things that ground you, but also the attachments to, like I said in my last video, like lower energies, lower entities, things that may have been pulling you down before that aren't in alignment for you right now, that you need to recognize as such and let go of. Other aspects are twin flames who are really, really connected at a soul level, like just really releasing the 3D lines of attachment, needing that to hit a 0 point. Once you hit the 0 point with that full surrender, the full release of attachment, they're saying not only is there a massive healing, but that like it's almost like whoever was holding the line, whoever was holding the energy, it's probably more strongly or more prominent by one of the twins in the pair, or in your connection, let's just say, right? So in your soul connection, one's holding the line of energy more because there's some sort of a fear-based attachment. So you go within, you dissolve that within yourself, you release it. That's what we call surrender, right? Because you come into alignment, you shift your energy into you come into a state of trust, love, so you're able to more readily, surrender and release those attachments. But what they're saying is when you release that attachment, that it's almost like this evened playing field, and that at this 0 point, this is when I just feel this huge like burst. It's almost like a flower just opening like that. That's how they've been showing it to me, like energetically. So it feels like it's for the connection, for the couple, for the dynamic, it's like this huge just opening. Something opens when you do that. Now, I know that that's not far off like the basic concepts that we've all learned, but there's something about doing that right now that's so crucial for so many people in their connections. And I think it's tough to be really honest with ourselves about where we still are holding attachments. And it has nothing to do with cord cutting. Cutting cords is about cutting away, negative energy. A lot of times where maybe lower entities or lower energies hook into us, or maybe where there's invisible lines of energetic attachment. And you can do all of that, and that's all good. But I'm talking about real conscious hooks, real conscious attachments that are stemming from, maybe if you're holding the line, from your fear-based energy, where there's some sort of a lingering expectation or hope, or there's some sort of an attachment. And I feel the potential for twin and soul connection type unions to happen after this period and beyond is quite high. And but in order for that to bloom and to blossom, like, you really do have to hit this 0 point with your attachments. And they're saying that it's leveling the energetic playing field. So here's another thing too. Like, I hear a lot in this journey, and I mean, I don't focus on it too much, but I know when I was working with twins early on, a lot of people say, or they comment and they say, my twin needs to do this. My twin needs to, or my person needs to fix himself or herself. And that's always just like a big, like, light bulb, like, hello, you're telling someone what they need to do. But it's like, that's where you really have to look at, what do you need to do in your own personal journey? Your job is not to worry about what the other person needs or to call it out. I mean, you can see it, you can observe it, it's good to be real with yourself about it, especially if your values aren't lining up in reality or you're not lining up energetically. It's important to be honest about that in the 3D. However, when you start to feel that judgment, that separation, like, oh, they need to do this and I don't need to do that, that's where this energy gets all mucky. So part of our task right now is to become really, really humble and to release these attachments. These could be through anger, resentment, fear, sadness, yearning, doubt. And so, I've talked about this before. You guys know, like, this all stems, the way you release this is by resolving the fear within you. You guys know that. How do you do that? Well, take my programs, come to coaching. Like, that's what I help you do, is dissolve that fear within you. It's not something that's overnight. It's complex and it's multi-layered, but it's not something that you also can't do in a short period of time if you're really hungry to do that. I see it happen all the time. It just really takes the desire. Like, you have to be really willing to look at your dark aspects, your shadow side, your denied aspects, the places where you're projecting. Once you do that, you can get to that 0 point. And that's like an incredibly freeing and liberating place for yourself. But what they're showing me is there's nothing that you have to hold or do or make the other person see or acknowledge. Like, by leveling that playing field at that 0 point, like, they're saying that there's almost an alignment of consciousness. And that's what's really interesting about this time. And I think it's because of the time that we're in, and that the other person sort of meets you in consciousness. Like, I'm not seeing that one's up or one's down or they're just saying the one that's holding the attachments, let it go. And then you'll hold the same consciousness, and then it can bloom. So that's telling me that, twins or those that you've been in connection with who are, seemingly unawakened or seemingly not seeing the light, or they're going to be holding the same type of consciousness or awareness, some of them, as you. This is also about discernment, because you have to discern, okay, who have I been attached to that is that lower energy that I completely just need to let go of, versus how can I let go of something that is pure from an attachment standpoint, but still be able to just, hold space for the person, to let that consciousness just open and bloom. Because I see it like a shared consciousness. I see it like an evening of perspective, of views. So this is telling me that this is the potential for, pairs, couples to come together with a more unified vision, a more harmonious, I just feel like it's one sight line, like it's one vision. It's like two people with one vision. Does that make sense? And the vision feels unified, whereas maybe in the past the vision had been very broken. There was discord or something that got in the way, right? I'm seeing two people at this 0 point level come through with just a unified vision. So this could be some twins also getting together for a more unique mission. And whatever the case, like you really can't put the emphasis around the expectation or even the conjecture or guess around, what the mission could be or what the third energy is or it's like your job is to just let that all go. Let that be shown to you as you join into one consciousness, as you join into, because the thing about it is, like, we don't just share consciousness, telepathy with just twin flames. Like, we share this with all, right? You might have this with your moms, right? Your mom and you might feel really hyper connected. You may have had this with other soulmates and relatives and soul family, and So your twin isn't unique in that way, although it seems to be more pronounced for twin flames, right? It seems to be more pronounced that your telepathic connection with this person is heightened. I feel like these relationships are practice forums for that tool. You actually have that tool with everyone. Um, but there is something more magnified about the twin flame connection. Um, and I just see the two visions coming together as one. So that could be many different things for many different people. It could be about like dissolving the discord from the past, being more on the same page. It could be for some of you about, like I said, a shared mission. It could just be about wanting the same things now moving forward in life, realizing what's important. And so there's a massive healing with many like twin flame couples. There's a lot that's going to come out of this period where people are going to really understand and realize what it is that's important to them, in terms of who they want to be with, how they want to live their life, and what's really important. There's going to be a lot more as we go deeper into this, these tragic conditions that are happening right now on our planet. There's going to be a big turn into spirituality. There's going to be a big shift into, from all this distracted energy, into self work, into, there's a huge illumination coming around April 15th, like April 14th, April 15th, April 16th, April 17th. That week we're going to have a big turn into, and I'm guessing my feeling is that that's because things are going to get a lot worse. It's pain that cracks us open. So it feels like that's going to be cause and effect. But for those of you that are turning into spirituality, or maybe those who are unawakened, who are becoming more enlightened, more awakened, turning into self, going into the self-work, this is going to be a really, really positive thing. So, again, we can only focus on ourselves. And so if you're ready to do work, check out my April intensive program, coaching, whatever. I'm here for you. I love you guys. Please stay safe. Take care of yourselves. Be proactive. Be good to your bodies. Give your bodies what they need. Try to come out of survival mode so that you can give your adrenals and your cells a break, so that you're not stressing and releasing all those stress hormones and stress chemicals, because that's going to decrease your immunity, right? So, I know I caught myself in that in the beginning, and I really had to consciously go, wait a minute, I'm in survival mode. I need to get out of that. And because I know it just wreaks havoc on the body. So, I love you guys, and I'll see you soon. All right. Take care. Bye.